Graphic production manager, Praise Schley, has designed a blueprint for her life. She works hard, she runs to stay fit, and she schedules her social gatherings around restaurant destinations. And her favorite place is modern and classic, unassuming and elegant, east and west, all at the same time. On the Embarcadero in San Francisco, it's called Chaya Brasserie.
Chaya means tea house. The original location was literally just a tea house in Japan that was under this beautiful tree. And they would just take care of travelers as they came in. They would serve them tea in just little tiny bites. And the really cool thing about Chaya is that it's been in business in Japan for almost 400 years. My name is Gina Segi. I'm the general manager of Chaya Brasserie in San Francisco. When the family made this restaurant, they brought the concept of fusion foods. French brasseries are very vibrant and they have a lot of energy and they're very alive with a lot of people. I think they wanted to blend the hospitality of a tea house and the energy of a French brasserie. The really fantastic thing about Chaya is that the original chef, Chef Tachibe, he invented tuna tartare. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but he did. He was in the restaurant in Los Angeles. A group of French guys came in and wanted something like a steak tartare, but a little bit lighter. He looked around and saw a beautiful fish that he had in front of him and decided to make the same concept, but with fish. We still serve the same tuna tartare, the same recipe. We have a really special menu here, prepared by our chef, Yuko Kajino. He's actually a classically trained French chef, so we get great sauces, we get great flavor profile. Our long history and the connection with the same family for 400 years is quite special. A little bit Japanese, a little bit French, a little bit exciting.
All right, Praise, tell me a little bit about your discovery of Chaya.
Well, when I was courting my then boyfriend, now husband, Grant, he took me there for the first time. And it's also kind of somewhere that I would normally pass up because it feels a little bit touristy on the outside.
Well, because it's right along the Embarcadero.
Right,
beautiful
absolutely.
views,
And
exactly.
Absolutely wouldn't hold that against them. But went inside and just was floored by the service, the ambiance, the bar, the food, and the dayboat scallops. These scallops were tender, they were moist, they were covered in tamarind, lime, habanero, kind of a very light sauce, and they just went down so easily. We were doing everything we could not to drink the bowl. It's amazing.
Stephen, tell me about your experience at Chaya.
Well, first it started with a beautiful walk from our home. It's within walking distance, and we got lucky. They gave us the best table in the restaurant right up against the window. So we both sat there, my wife and I, looking out over the whole bay and the Bay Bridge, and as it got dark later, that light show came on, so it was just a beautiful ambiance. The first dish that we had was a seafood sampler. And you could just tell everything was so fresh. There was these super large shrimps on the plate, poached to perfection. Then there was a little salmon and margarot tuna, and that just had a beautiful dressing. And my favorite of them all was a salmon tartare. And I knew I was in for a treat after having that.
That was the beginning of heaven, a little slice of heaven there. And Bill, where did you start? What did you have for appetizers?
We started with the Tico tacos, which is, interestingly, it's a taco with octopus, which is not a dish that I normally eat, but it has a wonderful texture to it. And it came on tortillas that were very thick and soft, with a little bit of jicama on the side and infused with a sauce that was a little bit tangy, but not overly so, and just a dash of spice in it as well.
This time that we went, we actually got the Wagyu Tasting, which is a special beef tasting menu. The first course of that was sirloin tartare with a miso glaze and then a quail egg on top. And this is decadent and rich and almost dessert-like. Second dish of the tasting menu was just my dream. It was this toasted rice ball with shaved sirloin and then this piping hot seaweed broth that was poured on top of it that cooked the meat. It was broth you could bathe in. It was this soul-hugging hot broth that it's just indescribable.
Yeah. For our main course, my wife and I split the Monterey Bay Cod. The cod itself was just wonderfully prepared. It was delicate. You didn't have to cut it with a knife. It fell off. We also had the Wagyu Sushi, which consisted of Wagyu beef and shrimp
It's an upscale surf and turf.
It was a wonderful combination.
And what else do you get when you go?
I can't leave here without telling you guys about the third course on the tasting menu, which was, again, a Wagyu beef. It was 4 cuts of ribeye, and it was presented upon this dried leaf, and it was sizzling, and it was on top of a flame, and they just brought it in as this beautiful presentation, and you could see all the other diners kind of looking at it as it like floated past. And it was wafting this campfire aroma into the air, and you could just smell it. It was a utopian campfire smell, and like
I love that.
Just everyone was scraping the leaf, and just all the senses were going wild besides just the taste.
I was very tempted to have the Wagyu the way that Tim, our server, described it, but I had a 70-ounce steak the night before, so I decided I'd had enough beef.
7-0?
I shared it with one
okay.
person. But what I had was this most wonderful scallop asparagus risotto. There was some pureed asparagus, obviously, in the risotto, and then it had some chunks of asparagus. Then it had some slivers of asparagus, and then these perfectly seared scallops. It was really a flavorful dish. If it wasn't for dessert, it might have been my favorite.
Let's get to those desserts.
Sure. We shared the bread pudding. And
The chocolate croissant bread.
yeah, thank you.
Let's just qualify that.
Thank you very much. It was incredible.
Yeah.
It's difficult to describe. Crispy layer on top. Normally, I'm the one that eats all the dessert, but my wife, who's not a big sweet person, she ended up
She was going in,
taking
baby.
more than her
She
fair
was
share.
going in.
We had the bread pudding as well, and it was phenomenal.
And it was obviously a dessert, but it had that savory element too, and it was just perfect.
Quick hit on service.
Very attentive, knowledgeable, mature.
They bent over backwards, and they were a team. Just attentive service, really fantastic.
All right, Praise, this is your spot, so give us a quick summary.
If you're looking for anything from a casual happy hour to a night out with a date to a night with the family, this is your spot.
All right, and Bill?
I would go back again. It is a special night out kind of a place, and also given its proximity to the financial district, it would be a terrific lunch destination.
Stephen?
I think it's a San Francisco gem right under your nose.
Okay. If you would like to try Chaya Brasserie, it's located on the Embarcadero at Howard in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-777-8688. It's open for lunch on weekdays and dinner every night. Reservations are accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $60.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Safe Catch Elite Wild Tuna. Great for athletes, kids, and pregnancy. Safe Catch tests each and every fish for mercury. Available at nearby stores. Walmart Global E-Commerce, with small, agile work teams, is focused on big data, engineering, and e-commerce innovations. Careers available at walmartlabs.com. Sutter Health CPMC, investing in community care for more than 150 years, including 2 new smart hospitals. Your city, your hospital. CPMC2020.org.
Natural Mattress Systems from European Sleepworks, working to improve comfort and wellness for over 40 years. European Sleepworks in Berkeley, online at sleepworks.com. Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com. IRG has over 250 types of natural stone choices in stock today. IRG in Brisbane and Dublin, or at marblecompany.com.